The Terran Defense Council sat in stunned silence as General Morrison displayed the Krell invasion force on the holographic display. 300,000 genetically engineered super soldiers, each one capable of destroying an entire city block. Advanced weaponry. Tactical superiority. The Krell Empire had never lost a ground war. "We need our best," Admiral Chen declared. "Deploy the enhanced combat units. Mobilize every military asset we have." But Commander James O'Brien had other ideas. He stood up slowly, his weathered face creased with determination. "Gentlemen, I propose something different. Something radical." All eyes turned to him. "Send Marcus Hendricks," O'Brien said quietly. The room erupted in confused murmurs. Marcus Hendricks wasn't a soldier. He was a 73-year-old farmer from Iowa who had lived on the frontier colony of New Haven for 40 years. The only weapon he'd ever carried was a tool, an old pitchfork, rusted but reliable, passed down through his family for generations. "Are you insane?" one council member demanded. "Hear me out," O'Brien continued, his voice steady. "The Krell expect military protocol. They expect tactical formations and advanced weaponry. They've studied our military doctrine for decades. We have one advantage: unpredictability. Send them something they'll never expect." After heated debate, the council agreed to the unconventional strategy. It made no sense, but they had nothing to lose. Marcus Hendricks received the call while mending fences on his farm. He was told he had 1 hour to report for immediate deployment. The old farmer didn't argue. He simply grabbed his pitchfork, the tool that had defined his entire life, and headed to the transport shuttle. When the Krell super soldiers descended on New Haven, they found Marcus standing alone in the central plaza, waiting. The nearest reinforcements were 50 kilometers away. He was completely vulnerable. The lead Krell commander, a 7-foot-tall creature of chitinous armor and crystalline implants, approached with absolute confidence. This would be an execution, not a battle. Then something unexpected happened. Marcus moved. The old farmer's body remembered decades of rhythmic work, the muscle memory of pitching hay, of working against resistance, of understanding leverage and timing. When the first super soldier lunged, Marcus twisted with surprising agility, using his pitchfork not as a weapon but as a tool. He planted it firmly in the ground, allowing the charging creature to impale itself on its own momentum. The Krell commander hesitated. This shouldn't be possible. Marcus didn't give him time to process. The farmer had spent 70 years reading the land, understanding how things worked, how to work efficiently with limited resources. He had repaired equipment that broke down daily. He had problem-solved his entire life. The super soldier was just another problem to be solved. Marcus moved through the plaza like a man working his fields, his pitchfork becoming an extension of his will. Each movement was economical, purposeful, born from a lifetime of understanding physics and practicality. The Krell, for all their genetic engineering, fought like machines. Marcus fought like a man who had adapted to every challenge nature could throw at him. The super soldiers came in waves. 12 of them. 20. 30. And Marcus Hendricks didn't fall. What made him unstoppable wasn't superior genetics or military training. It was something far more dangerous, a lifetime of creative problem-solving. When faced with overwhelming odds, he didn't panic. He adapted. When one technique failed, he tried another. When resources were limited, he maximized what he had. The Krell commander watched in horror as his elite force fell to a single old human with a primitive tool. It was impossible. It violated every principle of their military doctrine. Then Marcus walked toward the commander, his weathered face calm, his pitchfork held with quiet confidence. The creature turned and ran. The invincible super soldiers broke formation and retreated to their ships, defeated by someone who had never fired a weapon in his life. Within hours, the Krell fleet withdrew from human space entirely. The message across the galaxy was clear: humanity couldn't be conquered through conventional means. Later, when asked how he'd done it, Marcus simply smiled and said, "I've been working with tools my whole life, son. You learn that the best solutions come from understanding what you've got and not wasting energy on what you don't." These fellas had all that fancy armor and training, but they'd never learned to adapt. On a farm, adaptation isn't a luxury, it's survival. The Terran Defense Council realized something profound that day: sometimes the greatest strength didn't come from weapons or genetic engineering. It came from human ingenuity, resilience, and the simple wisdom of a man who'd spent his life solving problems with nothing but determination and a pitchfork. Kindly like and subscribe channel. Thank you.